If it rains, that's when you know it's true. Unashamed too, I don't know. If it rains, that's when you know it's true. Unashamed too, I don't know. If it rains, if it rains, if it rains. What's going on, guys? Unashamed here. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time. I know it's been 2 months, but we're coming back with something fresh. We're coming back with something new, and there have been a lot of games that I honestly have not been able to cover. Today we have Stellar Blade. This game is a game I talked about on the channel before, but the last time I talked about this, not a lot of people received it well, and at the time it was called Project Eve. And if you guys didn't know, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive according to the trailer. And a month ago, it was showcased at the State of Play event. And there were some gems that were there. I'm gonna be honest. They had Tekken 8. They had some other IPs that were nice, new IPs that were nice. But today we are talking about Stellar Blade. And they changed it. They changed the name to Stellar Blade. I'm not sure what the meaning of it is. I feel like because this is a Asian foreign title, there's probably some hidden meaning behind a lot of this stuff. There usually is. But we're just gonna go ahead and look at this trailer real quick.
그날은 갑자기 찾아왔지. 그놈들은 무자비했고 인간들은 무력했어. 인류는 형편없이 무너져갔네.
자이오니아, 버려진 자들의 도시지. 전성기에는 10만 명 이상이 살았던 곳이야.
황무지 아래 건설한 도시라니. 여긴 무덤인 건가요?
아니, 이곳의 주민들은 에너지 고갈로 잠들어 있는 거야. 이대로 간다면 영원한 어둠뿐이지. 이봐, 우리를 도와줘.
조심해! 리스팅되지 않는 네이트고야. 아담, 뒤로 물러나! 마더스피어는 절대적이야.
이 레거시는 믿을 수 없어요. 그렇죠? 그렇다고 말해줘요.
여기 있는 누구도 그 손길이 닿은 적은 없어. 모두 버려진 거야.
그건 신상 모독이에요.
릴리, 부탁해! 난 이러기 위해 태어난 거야!
이렇게 된 이상 나도 몰라요.
콜로니의 천사여, 이번에는 우리를 구원할 수 있겠는가?
Alright, so here we are. We're back, and I'm gonna look at this article that is covering Stellar Blade. Now, before I get into this article, I'm gonna be honest. The first vibes I kind of get with this game is like a mixture in terms of the gameplay. I get like a mixture. I get mixed feelings. Like this game is kind of like Bayonetta and Nier Automata mixed together. That's the biggest vibes I get from the game. When I talked about this last time, I talked more about the story and just what the game was telling us in terms of the setting, in terms of the characters and all that, and you know, what is this game actually about. And last time I was pretty much discussing the fact that I felt like this game was heavy in terms of goddess worship. It is what it is. Today I'm just going to discuss just blatantly what Stellar Blade is and what should we expect when it releases. So here's the article here. We have Stellar Blade, the history of Project Eve. Stellar Blade has caught the attention of gamers with an impressive state of play trailer, and some might know more about its development. Stellar Blade made quite a name for itself with a rather intriguing trailer in the latest state of play showcase. The latest preview reintroduces the game, once known as Project Eve, to viewers, featuring its post-apocalyptic story and even some supporting members that help add to the world that has only grown more interesting in the time since it was last shown off. While the upcoming PS5 exclusive has already captivated many players with its combat and visuals, not much is known about Stellar Blade's development, both under its new title or even as Project Eve. Currently, all fans have to judge the game on are the 2 trailers freely available on YouTube and 2 PlayStation blog posts made by the developer, Shift Up Corporation. Now, I don't know anything about Shift Up, but I think it's like a Korean developer, but you have to fact check me on that one. However, the story of the studio creating Stellar Blade is important in understanding why the action game is such a big deal. Shift Up Corporation, like I said, it's a Korean video game company that, while obscure to many English-speaking gamers, is well known for its mobile games like Destiny Child, which was released in October 2016 and is still active to this day. Whereas other similar gacha mobile titles such as Kingdom Hearts Union Cross have been shut down for numerous reasons. Alongside the development of Stellar Blade, Shift Up is also working on its second mobile game known as Nikki Goddess of Victory, which has recently finished a focus test while reaching 1 million pre-registrations for the game. Like I said, I felt like this game was heavy in goddess worship. I wouldn't be surprised if this Nikki game is doing pretty much focusing on that same dynamic. Interestingly, unlike Stellar Blade, despite Nikki's large player count, the game has no known release date yet. However, what's even more curious is that Stellar Blade marks the first console game Shift Up has ever developed, adding more intrigue to the game with how beautiful it looks already, despite the fact that Shift Up has been focused on 2D art styles for its mobile gacha games for years. Following Shift Up's successful mobile titles, the company announced its first AAA game in April 2019. Beyond that, hardly anything was revealed about the game until Project Eve was first shown off during the PlayStation Showcase in 2021. This trailer featured gory aliens known as natives that would remain as the title's main enemies, even after the game earned its proper title. These creatures were shown occupying abandoned spaces and subway stations, and were even shown possessing corpses, despite the lingering implication that those bodies had been left alone for decades. To viewers, it seemed like Project Eve was aiming to play Bayonetta with Resident Evil zombie horror elements attached to it, allowing players to dodge and beat up enemies with the agility of a flexible girl in a skin-tight suit. While this combination looked and sounded interesting, players wouldn't get any new information on the title until almost a year later, when it returned to the state of play this year. Even though the rather intriguing trailer combined with being left in the dark about Project Eve arguably got players attached to the name, it was made rather clear with the name change that Project Eve was never the title of the game, but a code name instead. Code names being used as placeholders is a commonplace in the video game industry that applies to consoles as well. Luckily for fans who prepared the name Project Eve, the code word lives on through the game's protagonist, keeping the name Eve despite the change. And like I said, like last time, I was really discussing the biblical undertones for this game, and I'm not sure why they did that, and I was just understanding, you know, what the whole deal was there, because I feel like they're pretty much using the same story elements that Nier Automata did, and you know, we can go into what Nier Automata was talking about, but that's for another video. What isn't seen is as often is the fact that Stellar Blade only has 2 mobile games behind its studio prior to its development. With how gorgeous the game looks, it's rather surprising when one looks at ShiftUp's mobile gacha-based history that relied on 2D motion artwork for the majority of its assets. It's clear to see when looking at the games that predate its first console game. ShiftUp is a company that values its time to make a good product above everything else. Even if Stellar Blade comes out later than expected, or gets hit with any sort of delay, fans will certainly get a good game for their time and money. If ShiftUp's previous track record is anything to go by. So, it will be releasing in 2023 exclusively for PlayStation 5. It's not known whether or not this is going to be a timed exclusive like Final Fantasy VII Remake was. It was a timed exclusive, but we'll just have to see, because of, you know, with the remake, it eventually went to the PC, and you know, we all know about how horrible that transition was, but it is what it is. From what I'm seeing from this game, I'm seeing a lot of different things, but the first thing that I was really paying attention to was, of course, the story and what is happening in the lore of Project Eve or Stellar Blade. But honestly, there's not much we can go off of other than the fact that it is a post-apocalyptic thing where you have Eve coming down from some, I'm not sure where she came from, but she's not from Earth. She's sent to Earth, very similar to Nier Automata with 2B. But I'm not sure, you know, if there's going to be any new trailers until the release, but hopefully they'll be able to expound upon what they've released so far, because there's not really that much to go off of for the story. But we can talk a little bit about the gameplay. The gameplay to me, I feel like is, like I said, a mixture of Nier Automata and Bayonetta mixed together. I feel like there's free flow combat where you get to move around. There's a lot of agility involved, and you will definitely have to parry a lot. With Star Wars Fallen Order, you couldn't just button mash. You can't do that. You can't just be swinging like crazy and expect to be successful when you're playing. You actually have to time your attacks. You have to block. You have to dodge. You have to look for an opening. And I feel like that's the focus of Stellar Blade's combat as well, where you're going to be needing to block and just look for an opening so that you can get the best, more efficient attack on your enemies. And it seems like you also have access to machinery like guns and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if Eve is actually a human being or a mixture of both, because it seems like she can transform or something like that. I'm not sure. It's weird. I don't have much to go off of, but from what it looks like, this game definitely is something we can keep our eye on next year, and hopefully everything goes well and we won't have to see any delays, and then we can discuss this game a lot further in terms of the story and things like that. And of course, I'm gonna put a link in the description talking more about the story of the previous video off the previous trailer, and you guys can check that out. There's a lot of stuff that was revealed there in that trailer, because I feel like this trailer was more bare bones and just kind of showing it was more like a release date trailer. more than anything else. It kind of showed the same things that they showed in the previous one. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Make sure you stay unashamed in this dark and wicked world. God bless.